So today is the, let me check, I believe it's the 27th. Yeah, 27th of March, still in March. 27th of March, Saturday. And I've got my Lenny hooked up this time. I just happened to be clearing it off yesterday, taking any audio that was on it and moving them onto the laptop to sort out. So because of all that, it's actually charged up to its full amount. And so I thought I might as well use it today. I might as well go for a walk and try it out. Now, I have to say that the walk feels like it's necessary. And I don't know, I'm kind of pushing myself a little bit to walk, but if I don't, I'm going to be here all day, and it's just coming up to 2 o'clock. Flo left today to X to do a course with her long-term teacher. What's his name? Sebastian or something. She's doing a course starting at 2 o'clock today. And then they're doing something else tomorrow, so she's going to spend the night and she's going to come back tomorrow afternoon. Gives me the whole evening here on my own. The whole evening on my own on this 27th. Now, before I go anywhere, I really have to remember to take keys and stuff. Question is it windy? It doesn't look windy. It doesn't look windy. No, Tuco, you're staying here. You're staying there, Tuco. I'm sorry, but I don't really want to. Maybe I could have a light black. See, I don't know if it's very warm or not. It certainly looks warm. But sometimes it can look warm, and then you get outside and, well, it's not as warm as it seems. How about something like this hat? This is looks a bit like a skiing hat. Oh, well, it looks a bit shit, but I can bring it because it's very small, easy to carry. And if it's windy, I guess I'll be happy with it. I've got a mask there. I don't feel 100%, but stay. You stay there too, have a bit of a nap, yeah? Good boy. I'll come back later on and then I'll maybe go shopping. Oh. Sticking his head through the cat flap. Right, so I'm hooked up for audio for feels like the first time in a while. I tried some audio in February, I think, but I put the wrong adapter on the microphone, and so I just deleted it because it was crap. You couldn't hear anything I was saying. Today's Saturday. Do they do post Saturday? I'm still waiting for this stupid fucking thing from HSBC to try and allow me to. Nope. It's supposed to try and allow me to get back into my English account. But the last time I asked them to send me a key, electronic key, I didn't get it. I'm not sure I'm going to get this either. Anyway. My stomach is kind of messed up. I seem to spend an awful lot of time doing minor number twos. I'm sure it's because I'm not eating the way I like to eat, which is when you kind of eat one or two good meals a day instead of eating like today. I had a cup of tea earlier on and about 5 Quality Street chocolates. I think those Quality Street, as much as I like them, I think they really kind of mess up your system. Like I said, it's just 2 o'clock, and if I don't do this walk in and out, it's going to be a long day. How are things today? As usual, it's quite a nice day. You'd expect it to be now, the end of March. I believe it's tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the morning the clocks go forward. So we'll be starting into the long evenings. I don't want to talk about the same subjects that I feel I've been going on about in most of the last audio tapes. That's a stupid word, isn't it? Audio tapes. They're anything but tapes. I just like the sound of tapes. But I don't want to go on about the same stuff, because just now I was tempted to give some kind of a rundown of crypto, Coinbase, Binance, but I don't want to. I'd rather talk about slightly more philosophical matters. There was a time I used to be able to use this walk to clear my mind, to try and rise above all the mundane stuff and come up with a certain sense of lightness where I would feel a certain sense of putting things in their positions of importance and trivia. And when I get down to it, a lot of the stuff that I have on my agenda is anything but important. It would all fall into the trivia category if I could only get myself to realize that. Instead of getting kind of tied up in knots about stupid little things. So it'd be nice to do this walk to try and be positive. Maybe come up with some kind of a simple plan of action for this evening. That might simply revolve around what I'm going to eat, or it may revolve around what I'm going to do, perhaps upload the audio files for February and March, perhaps. Okay, now. The silence is broke. I'm looking ahead of me and it looks like I got about 7 or 8 people on bikes coming toward me, all dressed up to the gills. Is that what you say? Dressed up to the fours? I don't know what the fuck that phrase is, but you know. Well, actually, no, they're not. They're more mountain bike people. Don't know whether that was an extremely large family or some group. It's a lovely day. Thought just struck me when I'm listening back to this, or when I cast my mind to this thought of returning to the past. And sometimes you think, oh, there's so many things you could do. And yet here I am walking out, and like I said, I don't know if I listen back to this in years to come, and I'll ever say to myself, there'll ever be the feeling of, wow, he was out walking and he had a car at his disposal. He could have done a lot of things. He could have drove somewhere, could have set up maybe a picnic for himself. By that I just mean tea. Could have drove somewhere and let's say Ganagobi, for instance, wouldn't be so far away. Drive up there, bring the flask in a bag, shoulder bag, and then head off, find all the nice spots, and something, maybe in the future I'll even say to myself, you could have just drove to Manosque. Find that out, the car parking that Flo finds, not that difficult. Park the old Clio banger there, and then get out and just walk all around Manosque to look at people. There's something of it's like the Groundhog Day. There's lots of things you could do, and yet when one is in the middle of the day like I am now, I'm so conservative in what I expect to do today. It's literally just the walk into the Connemara and the walk back. But of course, I hope this is some kind of a growing confidence or enlightenment. It's not really enlightenment because it's kind of obvious, but just a growing sense within me that, there's a lot you could do with the day. Maybe I could find out a bit more about that little golf par 3 course out the road, and I could go there with some clubs sometime, spend the day, and really let rip, not be afraid to lose golf balls and not be afraid to take bad shots, just try and have fun. That doesn't appeal to me so much, but having a flask and tea and things, and going for a walk myself around Lower Village or Ganagoby. Those thoughts are starting to sound a little more interesting. I mean, of course, the walk itself to Orizon and back can have its own merits. Just a fleeting thought. Over the last few days, I've been watching the odd episodes of the original Star Trek. I just took down the 3 box sets from the shelf, and I thought, I'm going to try and find the more obscure episodes and check them out again. Somebody coming toward me. So we have a communication blackout. Bonjour. Yeah, so I watched I watched 3 or 4 episodes. So who knows, maybe I'm going to get back into watching, because I've already watched some Streets of San Francisco as well. That's something else I must do. I must order another box set. Even if it's the wrong region, I'm pretty sure I can get them to play. Yeah, watching some Star Trek. I've got lots and lots of things I could revisit. There must be many, many, many episodes of Frasier that I'd completely forgotten about. If I were to just get back into that. Anyway, kind of small thoughts. Not really what I wanted to. I wanted to go a little higher. I wanted to be a little more philosophical. I didn't want to just concentrate on all the little distractions I can start listing out. March was a tough month, make no mistake. I have it on audio, and I'm going to post everything to my channel. I feel it's good to have these changes. I also feel perhaps something was learned, and maybe some kind of a little change took place in me as regards certain things that Flo says over and over again that used to annoy me, and I'm hoping that I can get away from being annoyed by it and let her say those things as much as she wants, because they're true and she needs to vent. I'm talking, of course, about the continual circle of her having to do things and saying I have to do everything, I'm on my own, blah, blah, blah. I don't like it, but it's true, and I think she should say it. Anyway, I don't want to go there either, because fuck, I've spent enough time talking about those things in the previous audio files. You just need to go back a few days and you'll find them. I had more than one tough night going through stuff, and instead of coming up with any resolution, I seem to have more come up with an acceptance, which is pretty cool as well. You kind of accept things, you can move on. I'll be glad when this month is finished. It'll always go down as the month I caught the COVID virus. I think they call it the English variant, I'm not sure. Looking back on it, there wasn't any symptoms that were that terrible or anything. But also looking back on it, it's very easy to forget the stress of not knowing from one day to the next whether you were going to get significantly better or significantly worse. And I've always worried about my breathing and my lungs. because I was kind of asthmatic years ago. Last time I had a pretty bad attack when we were in Mumford because of the dust. So I was worried about developing a cough and then finding myself back in a situation which thankfully hasn't been there very much over the decades. But that's that situation where you can't catch your breath. It wasn't like that. I had probably the greatest amount of feverish nights that I've ever had, where you're just drenched from head to toe. I had headaches, but headaches to me, that wasn't anything new. Plenty of headaches. I felt kind of something odd just in the back of your throat, you know, there's a sensation that there is something going on that's not right. I lost my appetite, and for a while I lost the ability to smell anything. Luckily, none of these things lasted very long at all. And although at the moment I don't really have the appetite business, it's still kind of elusive. But it doesn't stop me from eating. That's the great thing. When I sit down and eat, a certain kind of appetite arrives. So yeah, I'm pretty much back to normal. March has been the first month as well where I haven't done any Connemara stuff at all. We were just opening up in the mornings. I have to say I wish we were back to doing that. It's not that I miss the Connemara, but it's more a case of I was deriving quite some benefit from getting out of bed at 11 o'clock, going there with Flo. I was enjoying my morning coffee and a pain chocolat or a croissant. I was enjoying the odd takeaway, and it somehow gave the day a little bit more structure. We'll see. Maybe we'll start doing that again within the next few weeks. What else was I hoping? Yeah, March was tough. I still don't really have any long-term notions at all. I'm just kind of happy that I find ways to fill the day. There's definitely a slight increase in terms of... Hello, little fella. That's the first time you didn't bark at me. stress when it comes to walking Tuco. The other day I met those two big Labrador type dogs. And they kind of scare the bejesus out of me. Because they're big and you don't exactly know what they're going to do. And I've got this nightmarish scenario in my head of two dogs like that just going berserk and just starting to wade into Tuco with their teeth. And then I'm thinking, well, what would I do? And how difficult would that be in a situation? Because I don't know if you've ever seen a dog wrap its teeth around something and you're trying to get it off it, but I tell you, even Tuco, if he wants to hang on to something, it can be very difficult to get a dog to stop doing what it's doing, especially a big dog, powerful dog. I'm a little, these dogs have owners and stuff, and I am being a little over the top, a little paranoid. It's like with the notion that there are just like packs of wild dogs running around by the river. Of course, that's not the case. Where am I now? Well, I've just gone past the housing estate and I'm now on the little country lane, approaching the old house on top of the hill. And a little out breath. However, I think most people would say to me, Eddie, if you can walk from Etrulia to Orizon, and then after a few minute break you can walk all the way back without too much problems, then I think we can all assure you that your lungs and everything are fine. My mind is a bit blank. It's kind of a shame. I wanted to be thinking of, well, I was hoping some new thoughts would come to my mind. Some new thoughts. Enjoy. By new thoughts, I meant something expiring. Yeah, something inspiring. Something that would give me a lift, and something that if I were to talk about it, then wherever you are listening to this, may give you a lift too. Whether you're in bed trying to sleep or going through this before you uploaded, or on holiday somewhere. I've said that a few times because I can envisage myself being bored by a swimming pool or something and revisiting these files. Two girls talking in the garden. They're looking at their new planted flowers. It's that house with the hexagonal shape that seemed to take a long time to get built. It's got a trampoline. It's just the last house before you go up this hill to the old house on the top. They're wearing lovely summery dresses. That's very flow. To be wearing bright clothes, going around showing, could be showing Isa all the different flowers she's planted. Ah, yes. Right, just past the old house, going down the hill. Just thinking to myself, would it be nice to be in Martina's garden? And Kieran and Tony and John and people are around, because it's my vision. So I was going to say because it's Christmas, but no, it's the middle of the summer. It just happens to be a really warm day. We're all in t-shirts. Anna's there as well. And John. Would I like that? A conversation about old times, maybe. Let's say about school and the academy, or about the time when there was only 5 channels and everybody watched the same movies every weekend. Just wondering what it would be like to have the conversation again with the likes of Tony Egan and Kieran and then my brother, now that we're all in our 50s. Would I notice any change in any people? Or would I be surprised at the fact that everybody seems exactly the same? I don't know. I'm sorry for the content on this particular thing. I didn't really have a lot to say when all said and done. Sometimes you hope something comes to you. You cast your mind out there, you put yourself in a Jungian mood. You think about the unconscious, you think about the stuff you are unaware of. the side of your personality, or you think about the potential you have of being aware of more stuff, the potential of changing your personality, the potential of just having something happen and suddenly your life feels a bit more dreamy aspect. And you don't feel any tightening of the chest in situations where you used to have a tightening of the chest. And let's say you go into Carrefour and you just start flirting with the girls. And it doesn't bother you at all. And it certainly doesn't bother them. I don't know, something that releases you from who you are. It'd be nice if that happened. Just realized I may have been talking about the effects of alcohol on the personality just then, because of course if you were a little merry you may well be more flirtatious. Just to have experiences like that. Right, I'm fucking tired now. I'm disappointed because the coffee is shit in the Connemara. I don't know why I can't get it to work. Maybe I could give it another shot. That's something I notice when I listen back to these files. I notice the sound of the bird song as well as the other sound effects. That's something you don't notice as much when you're in the midst of it. I can hear that noise. It's a car coming toward side street. And I can hear the birds, but it tends to be just off conscious, you know. Obviously you can't get away from the noise of the car, but there's so many different noises just in the background. Where could I go in my car? I even think that right now I'd be in the humor to go and sit in the middle of a terrace even in Arizona with a decent cup of coffee one time I wouldn't want to do that because I would always be just a little anxious of people coming to talk to me that I know, like Gerard or Joel. Not that I've nothing against these people, but it used to bother me. Or that someone would start talking to me, a customer, you know, and I wouldn't be able to follow the conversation. But I tell you right now, I really feel I have somewhat passed all that. And right now I'd almost be quite happy to be sitting in a cafe and have Joel say hello. Or Gerard, and if people started to talk to me, well, if it was possible to use the app I have, and if it wasn't, then fuck it, somewhat. But that's something I'd do. Especially if I had the car, I think I'd drive somewhere. Maybe drive to what is it, Super U in Manoskin. You could sit in one of the places there that do the coffee and just watch the shoppers go by. It might be a nice little extra activity. At the moment, all I do is walk in and out. Little things changing. Well, we're getting close to Horizon Roundabout. As you can tell from the increase in traffic. What I'd give to watch Star Trek with a fellow fan. God, that'd be great. I wouldn't care what episode. It's quite hot. I'm wearing my black jacket. It's a bit much. A bit much. I see some people wearing masks on the street. And although I don't feel it as such, I should be I should be a little relieved and confident because I should have some kind of a natural antibody build-up for this thing at this point. So if I was to get hit by some germs now, my immunity system should be able to destroy it. Traffic. Saturday at 3 o'clock, huh? Where's everybody going? The shopping? Vast majority going to meet people. Going to the house of your sister or brother or something. Or mother. I didn't have any high thoughts. So I've got fuck all to say really. I think when I get in here, I'll just switch this off. I don't think I'll be... I don't think I'll be talking on the way back. It doesn't seem like I've got anything to say. Cute dog. Oh boy. Well, this is a tape to certainly put you to sleep. Certainly put you to sleep. It's almost just like ambient noises at this point. still. I can feel my lungs working. I can feel my legs working. I'm sweating, so there. That's not bad. I mean, that's not bad. That's what you should do every day. Get a little exercise. It's 1 minute to 3. Now we're heading right through the center of Orizon. I can see the usual suspects. Usual suspects. Work on your character. That's what I've got to do. Work. Oh, all the pictures are gone. Didn't really notice them last time. I noticed them today for some reason. The Connemara is empty of pictures. It's kind of the first time we've seen that in a long time. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do here is end this audio transmission. See how long it's been? Well, I think it should be pretty clear because as I'm looking at the dial, and whenever I talk here, it seems to, the arrows seem to go way past the 50% mark, so that's good. We're 59 minutes and 37 seconds, so I'm gonna, as is the custom, I'm gonna let it run on to exactly an hour. And then I should switch off. So thank you for joining me. Sorry it wasn't a bit more lively. And we may not do another one today, but certainly one in the future. Adios.